6:30 a.m., day 58, leaving the Pinnacle Lodge. Walk down to the trailhead, and I think it's a little over 10.5 miles, maybe 11, including this road walk, to get to the planned campsite, which is next to a pond. The weather forecast says that today is going to be a record-breaking heat day. I don't know, what did they say, up in the 90s or something like that? And so we've got a pretty big climb in the morning. Hopefully we'll get that done before it gets too hot. The cloudy sky should help a little bit, and the thought of swimming in the pond at the end of the day should help a little bit too. We are now in the Green Mountain National Forest. This trailhead here is where I pretty much started my 50-mile Vermont hike with KJ 3 years ago. There's something interesting going on up ahead, some people packing up. So this is the support crew for John Kelly, who is working on the fastest known time hike of the Appalachian Trail. Apparently we missed him by about 5 or 10 minutes. Support crew said we could try to catch up with him, but haha, I think he's doing 50 or 60 miles today, and we're doing 10. There are some paw prints, probably dog. Oh, I guess we're about 3/4 of the way up Mount Bromley. Oh, Mount Bromley. All right, this is the shelter on the side of Bromley Mountain. LJ, I don't know if you remember, but when I finished my 14th state challenge here in Vermont, you hiked up that hill with me, and we had dinner right there, and then I walked you back to the car and back up that hill again. So just wanted to show you the shelter here. The folks that are in the shelter right now, I guess, spent the night there. It's a couple from Germany who we've seen off and on now for the past 4 or 5 days. So they're hiking about the same pace as we are. I think we're starting to hike up a ski slope to the top of the mountain. I guess this is the top of Mount Bromley, and somebody gave me an Adirondack chair. Pretty big chair to sit in and enjoy the view. Let me show you what the view looks like here. Yeah. Alrighty. Over here is a warming hut that I guess would be open when the ski lifts are running. And looks like my hiking buddies are sitting on the porch. These logs make a nice place to walk out of the mud. Sort of. Into the wilderness we go. Is this Peru Peak?
Yep.
We're at the top. Down on a rock. Getting some lunch. I have a rainbow bagel. This is kind of spooky. Tree was on top of the rock. Didn't make a very good root system though. I don't know if this is going to come out, but the bark that's fallen off of this tree, really just pretty wild. Oh. Let's make a canoe out of it. Just like that. Engineering! And this is the lake. Come on, focus. There we go. Griffith Lake is a tenting area, has a privy and a bear box and a caretaker somewhere who's going to make sure that we don't put our tents down next to the lake. which I'm not doing. I've got a place over here with my tent set up. I got here about 2. It's about 2:30 right now. Rosie's got his tarp up. Shadow's gonna get her tent up on that platform there, and there's my little tent in the dirt. Time to go rinse off in the lake, have a little swim. Bugs are really bad. Mosquitoes and black flies biting. I tried to eat outside, but I got to finish my meal in my tent. Okay, everything's packed up for the night, including me. It is 6:30, and I'm in the tent because the bugs are terrible outside. Even though the thermometer in my tent says 80 degrees, but it's better than being eaten. So I guess I'll just lay here a while, maybe listen to a podcast, try to relax and go to sleep. Morning on day 59, trying to get an early start today. Did some cold soak oatmeal, eating it in my bug-free tent, and hopefully I'll be walking before 6. On the trail about 45 minutes today. Look at that big old rock. And just pretty cruisy terrain despite the roots and trip hazards and mud. We're gonna have a couple of climbs today though. Something to look forward to. And the heat, probably hear me talk about the heat a lot today. Everybody else goes up the AT actually to Baker Peak, and if I remember correctly, this is a scramble. Yup, there's the blaze. And there's the trail, keeps going up there. Just started the rock scramble up to Baker Peak. If the weather's bad, you can do the bad weather bypass, but we don't have that excuse today, so I'm gonna have to keep going up and up and up. And climbing. Partial view. More up and more up. Let's see if I can get down to that little sunny spot. Take a dip. Get there, I'm going to use some engineering. Love me a suspension bridge. Boingy, boingy, boingy. Pretty. That was my spot. Look at these purple flowers. I don't know what they are. That bug likes it. Yum, 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 yum. I guess it's an ant nest or termites. I'm not going to disturb it. There's the entrance. Weird. Not so much, I'm never leaving.
I went to sleep right away, and then I woke up at 8 or something.
Here's some engineering. An I-beam turned sideways as a bridge. Another pond. You know what that means. Some people on that rock. Some raven up there. So that was a much needed 2-hour break here. Middle of the day. To swim, eat lunch, play around a little bit. Now it is 1:45, and we got 5 miles to go to our planned destination for tonight. So just enough hiking uphill to get all hot and sweaty again. Quite a collection of old rusty stuff. Well, this is the start of what has been known as the rock garden, but in Leave No Trace principles, they destroyed all the rock sculptures that people had made. So I've done my part. Of bring back the rock. Well, we made it to the Greenwall shelter. That was a tough 15 miles. This appears to be the water source. Maybe I'm not very thirsty yet. There's a privy here, shelter, a couple of tent sites, table, no bear box, so I'm gonna have to see if I can find a tree suitable for hanging my bear line. As it was built in 1962, that's older than me by 1 year, so hope that I look that good next year. But got some flat spots back here. Rosie's off looking for trees. These are getting set up. I'm going to eat my ramen that I put in this jar about 2 hours ago. Yum, yum. Thermometer says 84 degrees still. Hope it cools down soon. Once again, finally remembering to do the wrap up just before I go to sleep. Today was a long day, but I had a pretty good time. Seems like it was forever when we left that pond, but crossed the river in the morning, took a dip in that, hung out at Griffith Lake for a little while. That wasn't Griffith Lake. What was it? Some other lake, and swam. Waited till the blistering heat dropped just a little bit. Total of 15 miles to get to this shelter camp area. There's nobody else here. So should be a good night to sleep. Coffee. I guess it was about 6:20 when we got hiking. And been out 30 minutes now. So far downhill. I think it's mostly downhill to our place.
Don't matter. I forgot I'm slowing down there.
Just got some water from that.
It looks like it's got its quills ready.
Get away from me, says the porcupine.
I'm gonna get closer. How far can they throw their quills? Yes. I see you. I see you. Go up that tree. Yeah, we can get a good picture.
Welcome to the Killington section of the Green Mountain Club's maintenance section trail thing. I'm sure this mountain we're climbing has a name. It looks like a clover, but I've never seen a flower quite like that. These are some tall flowers. As high as I can reach. Well, we're about 9:30 and we found this shelter here for a break. This is a place where KJ and I stayed a few years ago. Our campsite was over there in the woods. Well, they're letting me take the lead of the column right now, and that's a little bit risky because I'm not known for following blazes very well. But I think Shadow knows that, so she's probably back there double checking me. Coming down into Clarendon Gorge. Engineering! Look at that. That's some engineering right there. Clarendon Gorge. It's incredibly steep. I'm sure I'm stating the obvious, but this trail has just gotten continuously more difficult since we left Harper's Ferry 60 days ago. I may be getting stronger, but I think the trail is getting harder faster than I've gotten stronger. And Honestly, I think I'm at the max strength I'm going to get. I'm not going to get any stronger, but the trail is going to get tougher. So, if we could just get some decent weather. You know, Vermont has sucked. It was pouring rain when we came in, and then when the rain stopped, it got to be sweltering hot. So, well, still hiking on though. We don't have those kind of trees in South Carolina. Okay, we're ending the day at this farm stand. Mosey's sister, who lives in Rutland, is going to come pick us up, take us to her house to get cleaned up, resupplied. Not exactly sure what the plan is for tomorrow's hiking.